Tobias, or my nickname is Tobias Bex. I live in Oslo, Norway, the capital, and I'm 24 years old. I've been living here my whole life. The last 3 or 4 years I've been living only from freestyle. So that means, I'm a full-time athlete, and I really concentrate on being an athlete and to live from the sport through competitions, performances, but also have developed for freestyle a sports brand or a lifestyle brand for freestyle football. So I'm also working on that. I think it's important to look into your weaknesses. So when you have mastered a lot of the tricks and you see that your own body maybe can't handle all of the new tricks you're trying to learn, you have to look into yourself and to see your weaknesses and try to find out what you can improve elsewhere. For my world record in AMA3 no touch, I've been practicing a lot of jumping and also balance, and I see that's improving because it's stuff that I'm not that good at, and you have to improve on your weaknesses. So looking at that, trying to practice in a different way, and different sports can help you, I think. This one is it says freestyle.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple, it's just freestyle, so it just symbolizes my lifestyle and my love for the sport, and yeah, it's that easy. And then I have another one here that I got last year. It's the date of the European Championship when I won last year, 2015, 26th of September. And my plan is to have the first Norwegian Championship I won under there, and hopefully the World Championship over here when that time comes. Work a little bit on it.
That's the wet dream of every freestyler. Get here and get everything you want.
Yeah. So now we need to pick up a few stuff for some orders. So I'm just gonna check on my phone. I felt that freestyle football missed the look like you have in skateboard, you have in snowboard, whatever. You kind of have this look. Same with football. We have you know when somebody is dressed in football gear, they're gonna play football. And I felt that you didn't have that in freestyle, and we were too much compared to football players, or it was really like street. So my goal first was like, I think something is missing here. I want to create something or a image for freestylers. I'm always on this mission to make the perfect freestyle gear, and it definitely was not perfect in the beginning. But I saw the opportunity, and I also thought that it's better that we have our own brand or brands. It's not just for freestyle. You have swirl and crossover as well. It's better that we or the freestylers use their money on gear that is made for them, and then the money as well can get back to the sport. started in 2006. I played football as most of the other guys. And I was, really into football. I loved football, and I was going to be a professional, I thought. And I saw some videos. I believe the first videos was my cousin showing me a video of Palle doing the double LATV, and I was like, no, that's not real. I thought it was like a film trick.
I remember when he was a very little boy, and he was so short that when he was going to kick the ball, he kicked it with his knee because he because he was so small, but he had so strong kicks. So I always thought that he would do something with football.
And after some injuries when I was growing up, and I got kind of sick of football and ice hockey as well as I played, and it was just basically from football, and then I found that boring. I wanted to keep the ball for myself, and then it developed into my career and my life.
And as I said, Tobias was a talented football player, and of course I thought that he would be a football player. And he thought that if he quitted football, he would do me disappointed. So I think he had months thinking of this. And then he came to me and I said, okay, why not? It's up to you, but you have to call your trainer and your teammates and tell them. Maybe you could say to them, take a break. And there it started, football freestyling.
So we just arrived at my parents' house where I lived and grew up, and some of you might recognize it, but this is the place I've filmed the most, and it's the place I trained probably the most freestyle in my life, actually through this angle as well, so maybe you recognize the door. I even used to freestyle here, but mostly down in the basement. And also we had this really beautiful garden. I thought I would show you the garden. It's the place where I did my first ATV, so it's kind of some good memories for me in the garden as well. He loves it. Like you can see right here now, it's snowy, so it's not that easy, but I actually did my first around the world about this place here. I was standing here all the time. This is our kind of part of the garden, and I was doing around the world standing here for so many hours. And now you see, even my dog loves to play ball, but he's even worse than Michritz. He doesn't use any air at all. Look. When I first moved in here, or my parents, we didn't have this part, so they got this bill. They bought the downstairs, and this is where I've been practicing the most in the house, mostly because it was mine and my brother's place. So when I was a little bit younger, it was actually possible to stand here and freestyle. It's kind of good if you move all the stuff around. And my parents actually thought it was fine. I had some accidents, like I hit the lights here and a few other stuff broke, but nothing too bad, and they saw that I had control. So, but mainly I was doing sit-down soles, but I actually have some videos from here when I do like new shits, and I think it's a few no touch and stuff like that as well. And here is my room, if you want to check it out, or it was my room. I'm not sure how it looks right now, but it's still a bed here. So this is my childhood room where I grew up. It looks kind of different, but you even see here, this is when I won from a competition in Sauda. And you still got a few stuff here from like Rebel Street style and stuff like that. but it's not that much stuff left. And yeah, as well here from Japan and Brazil. This is my brother's place. Yeah, they're in my brother's place. Not the posters, but this one was kind of big.
Ah.
When was this one?
That was Battle.
Battle Run. Oh yeah,
In
of
second
course.
place.
That's true. Yeah, so this is some of my trophies, other than the stuff that I get back home.
We should have made Norwegian food today.
I always said to myself that I'm gonna be able to pull off PATV, the triple around the world, when I'm 50 years old, maybe even 60, because for me it's also just a fun way to exercise. So instead of go up on the treadmill and run for some miles, it would be much more fun to just freestyle, even though it's not for competition. So I believe I will freestyle for the rest of my life as long as I can walk. So I'm always kind of aware of how I am to new freestylers, and you want to welcome them into the sport, especially here in Norway, because this is where I'm based, but also other guys. You try to reply them and encourage them to do more, and you have to be aware that you're a role model, but still be yourself, and not trying to be anybody else. And yeah, of course, encourage other people and to show them that it's possible to live from just freestyle. What's so funny about the Norwegian scene is that we might not be that many in the kind of main inner circle, but our level is really, really high. And I don't think people really realized that before 2 or 3 years ago, and especially the last year. Recently, like the last year, I believe, there's been so many more young freestylers coming, and we're trying to kind of keep them in the game, interact with them, and we're trying to find a system. We look into other countries as well, how they take care of them, because we want to involve them as well. One of the best moments that I can think of right now that comes to my head the first is probably the second place in the World Tour in London in 2013. It sounds kind of weird, but I was so excited, and I kind of proved to myself that I really was in the top, and that's when I really understood that I'm actually one of the best. Because before that I thought I was really lucky that I got into the World Tour, but that year in the year before, 2012, when I won SIG 3 in Super Bowl, it kind of gave me the confidence, and I understood that wow, I can really do this.